Well, good afternoon, YouTube modeling community. Robert Bishop from RB Model Works coming at you from Moscow, Idaho. Back at the bench, finally. I know it's been quite the hiatus since I've been on here, and I apologize. So many things going on with the store, the 3D printing stuff. I just do not find any time at all, hardly, to processing orders is anywhere from a 3 to 6 hour job every day, and then packing up and shipping. And by the time the wife gets home and cook dinner, there's not a lot left in the day. So, but anyway, enough with the excuses. Just going to kind of show you what I've been up to for the last 4 to 6 months. This is a project that I'm building right now. The '65 Chevy. This is a Mobius model. I did 3D print the motor. The big block Chevy. They got hoses, and I am a little crooked on the engine there. Nothing I can do about that now. It's all done. I've got the aluminum drive line in, 3D printed rear and ladder bars, 3D printed front suspension. So that it'll look good from the side. Let's just say that. But I got the interior done. Some of the vintage style seat belts. I painted the fire extinguisher just white, and then used some Hasegawa chrome on that. And then the NOS bottles, I painted those chrome and then clear X23 Tamiya blue. The gauges, once I put the decals in, I put some UV resin in there. But anyway, getting ready to wrap this up. Instead of BMF, I am using the Hasegawa mirror finish on this instead. Stuff sticks supreme over bare metal foil. So anyway, this gasser is the main thing that I've been working on. Did cut the grill out. I'm gonna either paint this all black or I'm gonna re-chrome it. Notch that out there. Got a little bracket that's gonna sit there to where this little moon tank will sit back recessed into the grill a little bit. So this is the main thing I've been working on. In between orders and stuff, I've been knocking out these 1/12 scale motors. This one is from Scale Speed Garage. The Run engine stand is also from Scale Speed Garage. Basically, this thing I did for my Grumpy's Camaro diorama with this. And I know that's one thing my main thing I was working on. I made some critical errors on there. And it's been sitting on my bench for 6 months. And I've been coming back to it, and I can't figure it out. So I walk away, come back to it, and it's really been bringing me down because it was a buddy build with a buddy of mine, and I hate that he finished his 6 months ago, and I can't even seem to get mine done. So I've just had to put it off to the side. Here's another one of my 1/12 engines. This is by Metobus. It's got the separate linkage for the C4, the tunnel ram, and then I printed these in clear so I can detail the killer drivetrain on there. And once I actually clear this stuff in gloss clear, that'll make those valve covers more see-through. And then get this set to the side here real quick. The other one is the 572. I want to say, yeah, this is by Black Box because it's got the tunnel ram. And then I added some other speed parts to make it more of a traditional. I'm not into that whole one-piece serpentine belt and distributor. So, but I'll get this mounted on a run engine stand as well, and I've got about 5 printed off. I need to get them painted up and ready to go. But this is the one that I have complete. It is the 427 SOC single overhead cam. And this is through Scale Speed Garage. So if you want stuff like this and the run engine stand, you have to sign up with them, become a member. And then once they release them into the archives, you can go into the archives and buy them at a reduced cost because you are a member. But being the engine is the one thing that I always really, truly enjoy. I decided this spring that I was just going to start printing these off in 1/12 scale and just do a series of engines in 1/12. So that's what I've got for those for right now. I'm getting ready to wrap my gasser up. So I wanted to give you a preview of what's next for me. Really good friend of mine just gave this to me. Plymouth, 65 Plymouth Fury 3. I love the 62 to 65 Chrysler products. They were pretty innovative when it came to the motors back then. A lot of them, in general, came with the 318 poly head. Some came with the 383s, some 440s. These were not, these big B bodies weren't considered muscle cars. Mine's gonna be. I don't know if I've got any wheels printed yet. Some for the store. There we go. There's a set. These are what I want to use. I'm going to put a 413 long ram in this. Kind of based off the 440 wedge, deck height wise. And it's got that big, huge dual cross ram going across. I think with this, as wide as this engine bay is, I'm not going to have any problem getting those in there. So, but instead of, just some old generic Plymouth hubcaps. I'm going to do the steel wheels and red lines. Color-wise, I'm going to do a red. Probably Toreador red, or I may even choose one of my Toledo colors, like a chestnut red. And then I'm going to do the interior in red with a dark red carpet. And then on the inserts, and I know these are spot on. It's got the little chrome bar going across the seat in the back. So this is actually very accurate to the 65 Fury. I'm going to put some decal pattern just on this inside. So I'll paint the seat dark red and then put a decal in here. I think it's going to be a simple herringbone, but I just want something to make it pop. As much as I appreciate the factory stuff, I also appreciate someone who likes to go just a little past factory. But yeah, those wheels are going to pop on there. And I just like, I like the rallies, the Magnum 500s. I like the Centerlines, Kragers, all that. But there's just something about a big B-body sleeper Dodge with some steel wheels and red lines on it that's just cool as hell. This fender skirt back here will come off. Obviously, Model House thought ahead and they wanted to leave that on in case you opted to do that. I'm not going to worry too much about this suspension. I don't know of one that would just swap out easy enough to even be able to do a detailed suspension. And I'm not thinking I want to just start. I just got this room cleaned up. I don't want to start pulling everything off the shelves to try to find a chassis. So if you know of a chassis that would swap out with this real easy, hey, leave me a note in the comments. I appreciate it. But these 3D wheels are some that I print and sell in my store. Those are some nice ones. And after I get this 65 Plymouth going, my buddy also gave me this old 68 Torino pace car. You just don't see. I bought the Fred Cady decals 4 years ago, just hoping and waiting for a drop top Torino 68 Torino to show up, and he had one, and so I'm gonna break this down, pop it apart. I'm gonna put some different wheels on it. It will still be a pace car, but it's going to be a 21st century version of said pace car. I got a bunch of different wheels printed up already. We'll see which ones. I think I've got a Ford. Yeah, here's the GT ones. Of course, these are way too big. These are 20-inch. But I was thinking somewhere along the lines of this, a GT style wheel. Do it base white, and then pretty much hand brush the chrome around each one of these. Be kind of a pain in the butt, but I think it would wisest look on the car once that rim is shrunken down to the 15-inch versus a 20-inch, I think it'll look nice on there. And that's about it. I do still offers. Most of my engines are by Metobus. You know, number one, I've got the 426, the 440, which doubles as the 413, the 383. Yeah, I know the deck height's different on the 383, but it can work if you really want it to. If you don't, well, then don't. Got the 351 Cleveland, the 351 Windsor Cross Boss. Let's see. I've got the small block Chevy by Metobus. Got like 8 motors from him. Then I've got the black box 572 with every package that he offers. And then I have the small block Ford by 3D VM in every one of their packages. Typically, I sell those engines as a complete package on my store. So when you go on there, if you look, the packages are like $39 to $49. That includes every carburetor, every manifold, every valve cover, every header, you name it. Everything that came in the kits, I put in the bag. So, real quick, I do offer a few of Z-Force Model Works wheels and tires. I did manage to get a few contracts to sell before he actually switched his business model. The center lines are one of them. His Kriegers are another one. And then I also have, let me see if I have them here. I don't think so. I have the, what is the Chevy Rally. And then the Chevy Copo wheels. That's it. And just FYI, these are some new Kriegers and BFGs. Do not handle them too soon. You can see mine doled out. But these are a new line that I'm adding. I just added P24 wheels and seats to my lineup. And these are from Black Box. I offer these as well. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to talk about Z-Force. He changed his business model. He's going back to printing his stuff and selling. I bought these collectors online. They're the electric cutouts. These things are amazing. I was going to put them on my gasser, but my gasser headers just, and you can see the dumps are literally right behind the wheels, and I'd have no room. I'd have to start cutting those up, and I didn't want to do that. But excellent printing. And then I got some mufflers from him too. So go check him out. Z-Force Model Works. And basically, I think that kind of get you caught up to speed on what I'm doing, where I'm at, what's been going on. And my next update will be the finished 65 Chevy Gasser. And then while I'm working on that and doing the chrome trim and stuff, I'm probably going to go ahead and get the 65 Fury. The body is really nice. I'm going to run a 3000 sponge over it just lightly. And I'm going to get that in primer. From there, I'll be able to see what kind of work I need to do on it. But it's super clean. It's an old model house. And their stuff is nice and clean and spot on already. So, all right. Anyway, and I got the chrome and the glass from the 65. I think he used to use old Chrome Tech Bob back in the past. I don't know of anybody that even does chrome anymore. Actually, that's not true. I know Spotlight Hobby is doing something with someone somewhere. I don't know where, but he's offering some chrome parts, which I thought was pretty neat. So, but that's it. Get you kind of caught up with what I'm doing, and see the beast over here. She's just off to the side for now. When I figure out how to peel that body back off and fix my mess ups, I'll do a final on that, and hopefully my buddy will go ahead and preview his. He did such a killer job on his that it deserves to be seen. But anyway, thank you guys. God bless, and I appreciate you sticking with me and tuning in, and when you do, and we'll see you next time. Peace.